What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You watching Ragin Nation Show Transformers 4 Edition. This is just a web series where we talk about all things that matter to me for production of the 4th installment of the live-action Transformers film franchise directed by Michael Bay. This is update number 91. And before we begin, you know what I gotta do? I gotta get a couple of shout-outs out of the way. Now, I'm gonna make this really quick because I know how some of y'all feel about the shout-outs, so I just want to do this really quick just to acknowledge and show some appreciation for random members of the Ragin Nation. So I'm gonna make this really quick, and you guys pay attention. You don't want to miss out your name, okay? I'm gonna say this really fast. Instagram followers: MalachiMan1, MilesSauce9562, I'm Isaac1301, Troy Cutter, TF Hand, Oakland's Finest 136, James RV32. Twitter followers: Ella McLean, John Batchneck, Devon Hutchins, Tim Prime1, Kid Durod, and Rainman. YouTube subscribers: TRA Jazz, Grimlock Jackson, Ricardo Machado, Gerardo Garcia, and Martin Garza. And Facebook likes: Maya Morris, Cornelius Smith, Bobby Quick, Alexander Yves, Arn Camperi, and Darren Galloway. And finally, happy birthday shoutouts to Pablo Rivera, Jason Valabe-Court, and Andrew Yates. Happy birthday, guys, and thanks a lot to the rest of you guys for following me and being part of the Ragin Nation. I really appreciate it. Now, let's get on with some real news. And the real news that I got for you is some really big news, and that is, I just had a steak and some seafood spaghetti for dinner. Okay, anyways, moving on with some real news. Okay, let's just follow up on some of the things that I talked about in the previous episode. Now, I had mentioned that the official running time for Transformers Age of Extinction is 2 hours and 7 minutes. The official running time officially clocks in at 7 minutes, just past 2 hours. This is what Michael Bay wants for Transformers Age of Extinction. Now, a lot of people are responding negatively to that, especially because Transformers Age of Extinction will be, in fact, the shortest Transformers live-action film to date. Let's look back at some of the running times of the previous films. Transformers, that came on 2007, is 144 minutes, 2 hours and 24 minutes. Revenge of the Fallen is 150 minutes, so 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2.5 hours. And Dark of the Moon is 2 hours and 34 minutes, so 154 minutes, just a few minutes longer than Revenge of the Fallen. Now, Transformers, the very first film, was perfect. I felt it was just the perfect pacing. It didn't feel too long and didn't feel like tedious, or I didn't feel like the movie had to move along. I felt the pacing was perfect, so 144 minutes was perfect. Now, on the other hand, Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers: The Dark of the Moon, they are at 2.5 hours and a little bit over 2.5 hours. I personally feel that they could probably shave off a good 20 minutes on each film. Think about it. Alright, look back at Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, look back at Transformers Dark of the Moon. Tell me how much stuff you could possibly trim out. I'm sure you can probably get rid of 20 to 25 minutes and still have the same story. Alright, so I think that with Michael Bay having a fourth go-around at a Transformers film, he realizes that we don't need all this unnecessary stuff. Let's just trim the fat, get rid of it all, and let's have a good, flowing, well-paced film that is action-packed and keeps the attention span of the audience. All right? Let's not have these scenes where we just got nothing but humans and we're just waiting for them to just get on and get over with the dialogue. You know, let's not have that, okay? Let's keep it interesting and keep it action-packed and just keep everything just flowing very nicely with a good balance of human and robot interaction. So, with that being said, it is 2 hours and 7 minutes. It's official. This is what he mentioned a long time ago. And on top of that, it's still also a business. This is an IMAX 3D released film. The studios want the movie to have as many showings as possible. They want to maximize the showings. Now, if you have a film at 2.5 hours, let's say you can only have 8 showings in that one theater, in a regular business day in the theater, okay? On the other hand, if you have a movie that's showing at 2 hours and 7 minutes, there's less time that is needed between showings. So therefore, instead of 8 showings, you can increase it to 9 showings, and therefore you can make a lot more money. So it's a business, but also it's also a storytelling thing, all right? As a storytelling thing, you just keep the movie well-paced. But as a business, you get in more showings. So there you have it. That's what I gotta say about the running time. I think it's a smart decision. Now, moving on, I also want to follow up on the previous episode, that'd be update number 90, where I showed off this fake list of characters and their alt modes. Now, half of those characters and alt modes are accurate, all right? But that's mainly because they've been announced by Michael Bay himself. But the other half is kind of skeptical. Now, they did get Pagani Huayra, as a stinger, correct. That's correct. But the rest of them are quite skeptical. For example, they had the Freightliner Argosy as payload. Now, where the heck did that come from? And then you have a Wind Charger as a white Camaro. Now, that's still doable. That I can find believable. But then you have the rusty truck, the Marmon 97 as Ultra Magnus. Now, I don't buy that's Ultra Magnus, but on the other hand, I just want to follow up on the on this Marmon 97 truck. I was asking you guys, what the heck is a Marmon 97? Because all I pulled up from a Google image search was this old vehicle, and then this military assault vehicle from a long time ago. Now, it turns out the company Marmon made those two vehicles, but a Marmon 97 is actually the flat-nose rusty truck, and nobody knew that it was called a Marmon 97 until my previous update. All right, so I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been messaging me and sending me links and just telling me that the Marmon 97 is actually, in fact, the rusty truck, because I never knew what to call it. Nobody knew what to call it except for the flat-nose rusty truck. Well, now we have a name for it. It's a Marmon 97. Okay, but we already know that's not Ultra Magnus. That's Optimus Prime. So what I really want to talk about is Cyclonus's alt mode. Okay, now let's go back to this shot in the trailer where we see whom I thought was Galvatron tearing apart this red Chevy four-door sedan. Now, I told you guys in, I think, episode, or rather update 89, that I don't believe it is Galvatron, because Michael Bay wouldn't do something like that and show us Galvatron, the main leader, coming back or rather returning, because he's Megatron, returning in the teaser. This is the first marketing material. Why would he spoil the fact that the leader of the Decepticons is returning once again? There is no way he would do that, okay? So, I was going to go and say that it is Cyclonus. Now, I could be entirely right about that, because if you look back at this He's Watching You photo or poster, that looks just like Cyclonus. In fact, it is him. It is this guy in the poster. But is it Cyclonus? Now, according to this fake sheet, it says Cyclonus is Lockheed Martin X-35C, which is a fighter jet. Okay? Now, let's take a look at him in this trailer shot. Now, he's got gray parts, okay? So, Freightliner Argosy got gray parts. He's got these blue lights, okay? Freightliner Argosy got blue lights. But where in the heck does this circle chess piece thing go? Nowhere on the Freightliner Argosy. But it does have a place in the X-35C, the Lockheed Martin X-35C jet. That's his chest. That is the engine of the X-35C, or rather some other jet. But all I know is that that looks like an engine exhaust. And for now, for the time being, I'm going to have to say that Cyclonus is in fact an X-35C. Now, we still don't know where someone came up with this list or where it even came from, but as far as I know, this is the update 90 was the first time it was being shown, and it's kind of being discussed all over the place right now. But I'm going to have to say that Galvatron, we don't know what he looks like yet. We haven't seen his robot mode. It's possible that he's a Freightliner Argosy, but for sure, Cyclonus is not a Freightliner Argosy. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say that he's a jet with an engine exhaust on his chest. All right? So that's what I got to say. Now, moving on, let's talk about the toys. And I want to talk about, once again, first edition Optimus Prime. But I don't want to talk about the first edition Optimus Prime per se. I actually want to talk about Takara's Japan edition, premium edition, Lost Age Optimus Prime. Now, I was wondering what the heck it's going to look like. Is it going to look different? Is it going to have different paint apps? And I looked at this promotional photo, and it looks like it's going to have different paint apps. And it looks a little bit better. But then I saw this other photo that was shown to me by Ren Steven. Thanks a lot, Ren, for showing this new photo to me. And it turns out that they're completely identical. The first edition Optimus Prime from Transformers Age of Extinction and the premium edition Lost Age Optimus Prime are identical, but with two different price tags. $59.99 for the domestic release, and Japan's price is 75,000 yen, which is pretty much $80 to $85. So a little bit more, but still essentially the same figure. Now I know. Now I know that I don't have to wait for the car release anymore. It's still the same piece of crap. Now, let me tell you something. This Transformers first edition Optimus Prime is one big marketing blitz. Blitzkrieg. It's a big marketing tool because no matter how crappy this toy is, people still want to buy him. And there's probably going to be a very, not a very limited run, but a limited run of this figure because it's the first edition Optimus Prime. And people want it. People, what? Okay, thank you. So this Optimus Prime this first edition Optimus Prime is being sold, and people are buying it, and nobody's actually saying any good things about it. They're buying it, and then they're like, yeah, it's okay, and a lot of people are saying, man, this is crappy, but at the end of the day, they still knew how crappy it was, they've seen all the photos, but they still want to buy it. Now, what is going on here? And you know what it is? It's the name, it's the marketing, it's the fact that they're saying that this is a first edition Optimus Prime. It comes in a nice box, and it's actually, in a way, a very unique looking figure, but it's still, as a Transformer, it is not very good. But it still has a very good looking alt mode. But as a robot, it's not very good. And if you look on eBay, it's not going for $60. It's being sold for $80 and up. So what in the heck is going on here? This is exactly what Hasbro wants. The figure is obviously selling and is doing very well, in fact. You can see people's photos of their in-hand photos showing left and right, and it's selling really well. Now, I don't understand what's happening to this world, but when I see a crap figure, I see a crap figure, and I don't want that figure. But I'm all caught up in the hype at this point. I kind of want him now. I'm seeing that everybody else got him. I see the good-looking alt mode. I see the posability, but I still don't like the rest of him. But I still kind of want him. What is going on here? Now, I'm going to hold off for now. I'm going to wait till Toy Fair before I make my decision to get this guy. Now, I most likely won't be able to. Now, I most likely won't be paying $80, $60, maybe $50, okay, you got a deal. But I'm going to wait till Toy Fair. I'm going to wait till Toy Fair, which happens February 16th to the 19th, so stay tuned for that. But once Toy Fair comes out, Hasbro and obviously Transformers Age of Extinction will be showing off a lot of great merchandise for us, and it's going to be really, really exciting. So I want to see if they're going to show the Voyager Optimus Prime or the Deluxe Optimus Prime, but at the end of the day, I want one Optimus Prime figure, all right? If the first edition Optimus Prime ends up being the best version of Optimus Prime as a toy, then I'm going to pick him up. And there you have it. Excuse me. And there you have it. That's all I got to say in this video. And we're going to talk a little bit more in update number 91. By the way, follow me on Instagram because we're going to do something really, really fun on Instagram. We got some more interactive activities going on. And follow me at The Ragin Nation. Also, everybody else who's been contacting me, inquiring about t-shirts and Ragin Nation VIP badges. Let me show you one of these. This is a Ragin Nation VIP badge, and it's a limited edition, 100 units, individually numbered, signed, and I write you a personal message. These are $5.99 plus $3.50 shipping, and there's only 100 of them. If you have it, you're eligible to prize giveaways, and I'm doing a prize giveaway at the end of the month, but you have to have one of these to get one. Email me at raginnation@gmail.com. And once again, I appreciate all the support. And while supplies last. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu, and thanks for watching. I'll see you on update number 92. And it's going to be a lot of cool stuff because we're going to talk about Toy Fair and new Age of Extinction toys. I'll see you next time. Peace. Premium edition Transformers Lost Age Optimus Prime. If you don't already know, Transformers Age of Extinction in Japan is called Transformers Lost